Let's get into the top 10. Let's get started.
Use Everyman Jack so you still smell good. Ride your mountain bike, but you still smell good. Crash into some hornets and fall down a mountain, but you still smell good. Everyman Jack, aluminum-free deodorant with many naturally derived ingredients so you can still smell good. You died for 7 seconds, but you still smell good. Late to see some friends, but you still smell good. The hornets followed you sick. Everyone got stung, but you still smell good.
Still gets me. It still gets me. Partyland, congratulations. Number 10, Lexi and Andy joining us. Geez, who's in the loud spot? What's going on?
That would be Andy.
Sorry, is it me?
Where are you?
Sorry. I'm at Zinc Cafe. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, are you in? Oh yeah. So wait, is that the one in Venice?
It is. Yeah. It's the agency cafe inside Venice.
Oh, you know what? I run into Scott Donaton, formerly of Hulu, there, and then you got I run into David Angelo often. So yeah, you're right. It's agent.
It's the place to be. It's where we harvest half of our new business.
All right. So listen, if anybody from a holding company comes by, bring them over because I'll flip them off.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, no, I'll absolutely flip them off. Oh, the thing I forgot to mention for the party on Monday is so this is a new hat. This is a new NDAF hat. I've got various colors. So I've got an orange one. I've got Oregon Ducks. I got red, white, and blue, America or France, pink, blue. So, we're upping our game a little bit. All right, let's talk about this work.
Nice.
And we've talked with all of you and the brand about this. Full disclosure, I am a huge Everyman Jack fan. So it's
right.
Disclosure, I guess.
I thought you would have lifted us closer to number one with your love of the brand there, Doug. I thought you might have had some influence there, brother.
I could not override. I could not override.
I get it.
Jesus, Andy.
All right, we'll send you that other package next time.
All right, so Steve Street is joining us from Spaceship a little bit later, and so that's very non-Australian attitude, Andy. I don't know if I'm fond of that. So
that's because I'm from New Zealand, though.
Oh, that's right.
That's the Australian attitude.
All right, hold on. Let's get this out of the way. Hold on. We're gonna get this out of the way. Andy, I forgot. My apologies, mate. All right, Steve Street from Spaceship. Who invented the pavlova?
Oh, Australia. Sure.
Fuck off.
All right. Yep, Steve, you're wrong. We'll bring you back in a little. No, the Pav was invented in New Zealand. So let's go back to this work. Let's talk about the brief and how you get to work with a brand that likes to mix it up, but also find this really interesting and unique comedic lane.
Yeah, I mean, the comedy thing was something that they came to us originally. If you look at the work before, it was very kind of more traditional. It was, they sort of rooted it in use case scenarios that sort of played out the product benefits and details more than anything else. There wasn't really a tone or comedic value to it. They sort of came to us and they were like, look, we need to connect to males 18 to 34, and we feel like comedy is the way that we can do that. So, can you start sort of developing that tone of voice for us through our, above the line work? They're fantastic at managing all their social channels. They've got an amazing kind of internal team that does all that. So they were like, we just need help building that tone, setting the kind of the bigger construct at the top, and then building, online video for us. So that was the sort of impetus of it. And then when it came to the actual brief, it's like they're a, naturally derived products, right? Their line is naturally derived, outdoor inspired. And there's just a general kind of feeling within the, the audience scape that naturally derived products just don't work very well.
Right.
You know, they don't last very long. They don't stop you from smelling. There's just a sense that, you know, you add aluminum to a deodorant stick and all of a sudden you smell good. So we're trying to push off that as much as possible. So when it came to the insight, we were like, what is just the simplest way we can kind of bang people over the head with this idea that, number one, you know, natural products do work, and number two, they last
Right.
long. So, you know, as we tend to do, we thought, what's the best way to get an earworm in someone, and creating
Right.
a song that just says, you know, still smell good over and over again, and then showing
Right.
out the use case of like, what does a start to the finish of a day look like for a guy? You know, that sort of got us to the idea and the execution.
Yeah. Lexi, the thing about Partyland, very well known for comedy, but comedy, number one, as Steve Martin said back in the 70s, comedy is not pretty. At the same time, there is a rigor and a discipline to it. So I'm curious about how some of the conversations that you have, not necessarily just about Everyman Jack, but across the client portfolio, because you're going to lean, you're going to go one direction for one client, maybe another direction. And the thing about comedy too is you don't have a house style, and it can be very easy to use the same devices and all of those things. So I'm curious about how you approach as an agency those conversations around humor and the discipline of it.
Well, firstly, I appreciate you saying that we're not one-dimensional, because that's something that we have.
I mean, Andy is. No,
yeah,
okay.
Andy is for sure. But no, we do like to say that comedy's a spectrum. You know, the type of comedy that we would, or the approach that we would take with a client like Liquid Death is not the same approach we would take with a client like eHarmony,
Right.
comedically speaking, you know? So I think it's really just about finding, as cliched as this sounds, finding the brand truths. And,
Right.
yeah, I mean, Matt Heath always says that you can't be funny without being smart first. So there's the primary step is not being a total idiot, I guess.
That's lessons well learned. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, Lexi, I'm going to put you backstage because I want your comments on some of the other work we're going to be showing here. So Andy, get your opinion hat going. I know you're not shy.